तर आपण या आधीच्या लेक्चरला इरिथ्रोसाइट्स पाहिलं होतं. इरिथ्रोसाइट्स म्हणजे त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो, रेड ब्लड सेल. ऍक्च्युली हे आपलं शिकवून झालेलं आहे याच्या आधीही, परंतु आपण पुन्हा एकदा याचं हे करतोय. इरिथ्रोसाइट्स मध्ये आपण काय पाहिलं की जनरल फंक्शन्स ऑफ इरिथ्रोसाइट्स in which circular biconcave enucleated except camel and llama cells. Main function is carry to oxygen and carbon dioxide. You know very well that it is containing the hemoglobin pigment. So RBC produced in the fetal condition, liver and spleen, are in condition in adult. In it is produced in the bone marrow. Main function of the RBC is that it maintain the viscosity of blood and blood clotting. In male and female cases, you can see the different average number of the RBCs are there. Lifespan is about 120 days. Erythropoiesis, these are the three questions important for objective type. What is the erythropoiesis? What is polycythemia? And what is erythrocytopenia? Number increasing, formation decreasing. All these things are related with the RBC. Okay, today we are discussing about the WBC. So WBC, you know that WBC means a white blood cell. Actually, this is the, you can see on in front of you. This is the actual mechanism of the formation of WBC or RBC from the bone marrow. You can see the bone marrow is there, and from bone marrow, the RBCs are produced, WBCs are produced. Actually, it is not clearly seen in this protocol, but actually this is the main formation of the RBC is in the bone marrow. So second thing is, we today's discussing point is that is WBC. You know, means WBC is also called, it is called leukocytes. Leuko means white and cyte म्हणजे सेल, म्हणजेच पांढऱ्या रक्तपेशींना आपण काय म्हणतो, ल्युकोसाइटो लिकोसाइट्स म्हणतो. आता लिकोसाइट्स, दीज आर द सेल, दीज लिकोसाइट्स आर मेनली, इट इज कलरलेस, म्हणजेच पांढरे आहेत, बरोबर. इट इज न्यूक्लिएटेड, त्यांच्यामध्ये न्यूक्लियस आहे, तर आरबीसी मध्ये न्यूक्लियस नाहीये. Actually these cells are phagocytic in nature. So the question will ask in the objective type questions, which cell is following phagocytic cell. You know that the RBC is carrying the function of only carrying the blood and hemoglobin pigment, you know, the oxygen carrying capacity. All these things are mechanisms are did by the RBCs. But in case of WBC main function is the protection of the body, means the phagocytosis. You know, the endophagocytosis and exophagocytosis is takes place, means the that particular cells, means white blood cells having, you know that it is a 5 types of cell: granulocytes and agranulocytes, in which of the first is monocytes, is cyanophils, basophils, acidophils and basophils, and lymphocyte and neutrophils. About each 5 types of the white blood cells, you know, the just it is a general thinking or general information about the white blood cells. And the white blood cells are known as leukocyte. Actually, I just say you that these cells are colorless due to the lack of hemoglobin, because hemoglobin is just only present in the RBCs. You should know about it. There are about 5,000 to 11,000 millimeter per cubic millimeter area of WBC in 1 ml of blood. Generally, this is the general counting of the WBC. You know that the cell is increasing and decreasing due to the disease causing agent comes inside the body. That time the cell number get fluctuate. So you know about it. These are also called scavengers and microscopic policemen. Scavengers, why it is scavenger? Because whatever with the dead cell and the cell debris material, whatever will remain inside the body, that material is oozed out from the body, or it goes outside the body by this mechanism of white blood cells. So it is a scavengers, means swachhata karnara. And microscopic policemen, because they are detect the pathogen molecule, they are detect the pathogen, detect the foreign living organism come inside the body. So it is called the microscopic policeman. So leukocytes are formed in the red marrow, bone marrow. Just I show you that this is the, because this is actually the formation in the red bone marrow, because bones are the producer for the white blood cell. They can also form in the lymphatic tissue. You know, the lymphatic tissue is related with our circulatory system. They live about 13 to 20 days, means 10%, about only 10% of the lifespan of the WRBC. They are just living 13 to 20 days. And you know that RBC have lifespan about the 120 days. Okay, so the term related with the WBC is that diapedensis, means movement movement of the WBC in the capillaries, or we can say in simple manner, due to the amoeboid movement, they can squeeze out from the blood. So that squeezing out from the blood of the WBC is also called diapedesis. Okay, so keep in mind diapedesis. Second is leukopenia. Leukopenia means the lack of WBC. If the WBC is not present inside the body or less in number, so that particular person is suffering from different type of disease because protection is not there, scavengers are not there, microscopic policeman is not there. So it is called leukopenia, means number त्याचा कमी होणे. Second thing is a leukocytosis, temporary increase in the number of WBC. In case of allergic condition, in case of disease, in case of pathogenic attack, or whatever we suffering, we suffering from the different disease, that time leukocytosis is takes place because the temporary increasing or decreasing the number of WBC, that decreasing WBC, just leukopenia and leukocytosis takes place. Second is a last thing is a leukemia. Leukemia means uncontrolled increase in the number of WBC. When the person is suffering from, just you know that cancer-like diseases in which uncontrolled and abnormal increase the number of blood cells, that increasing number not controlled by our body cell, body mechanism. So that is called leukemia. This condition is only occur when we are suffering from cancer-like diseases. You know the blood cancer is there. So that like this type of cancer is under the leukemia. Actually, this is the mechanism of formation of WBC or RBC and platelets. The source of these WBC, RBC, and platelets are nothing but it is a bone marrow. So lymphocyte, monocyte, eosinophil, basophils, neutrophil, whatever it may be, different sort types of the white blood cells which are derived from this bone marrow. Means the bone marrow, just you know that fetus and spleen, the spleen and adult case and in the fetal case, the formation is in the bone marrow or in the spleen. These are the actually source of the formation of the WBC and RBC from bone marrow and all these things. Just you can see here, recall your memory, because in the fetal condition RBC producing liver and spleen, and in adult case you see here the bone marrow. म्हणजे fetal case मध्ये जर असेल तर liver आणि spleen मधून RBC तयार होतात किंवा WBC, and in adult case it is from the bone marrow. So we are come to the point in adult case the WBC is produced from the bone marrow. So just you can see here the erythropoietin formation of the, just you see here the arrows release into bloodstream stimulation and inhibition. So this is the path of the erythropoiesis in bloodstream or from the bone marrow, or it's supposed to be red bone marrow to produce the increase the number. Suppose the in case of this liver and kidney send the message for erythropoietin in bloodstream, so it is a positive response. So the bone marrow produces the red blood cells, because you know the red blood cells are relatively known about the, it is a also increase the oxygen carrying capacity and also for the nutrient carrying purpose. So if suppose increasing the oxygen carrying capacity is increasing, so you know it is useful for oxidation of food and other different purpose of the oxygen is useful in our body. So the negative feedback goes towards the liver and kidney and erythropoietin gets stopped. So the it may be balancing the RBC production or number of RBC is balancing in liver, kidney, bloodstream, as well as in the red bone marrow. Just these processes we are discussing in detail in control and coordination chapter. Now we are starting that chapter. So whatever it may be, we are discussing in that chapter. Okay. See the white blood cells having the about 5 types. One is the granulocytes and agranulocytes. So granulocytes is the neutrophils, basophils, and eosinophils means acidophils, basophils, and neutrophils. These are the first three parts are under the white blood cells, granulocytes, and second remaining two are monocytes and lymphocytes. These are related with agranulocytes. You know this monocyte is really useful for macrophage. We're discussing the further. So first is leukocyte, white blood cells, granulocytes and granular means lymphocytes and monocytes, and these just you can see here the basophils is about 5 to 1% in percentage of the total entire cell number, and neutrophils is about 60 to 70%, and eosinophils is about 2 to 4%. Okay, these are less number in our body, but it is very useful to us In case of granulocyte, lymphocyte is about 20 to 25% and monocyte 3 to 8%. This is the normal condition of the blood constituents. I mean, in case of the WBC, if suppose you just go in clinical or in the pathological lab and you just give your blood for the CBC counts, means a complete blood count, that time all these numbers are you can see on the report that in the range. So about the range of that particular granulocytes and granulocyte is in front of you in this slide. That is about the basophil, just 5 to 1%, 60 to 70%. Means what? If these cells are go upward to the range or go downward to the range, then it is harmful to the body. But it is in the range, then no problem to us. So the doctor is just give the advice to you to check the blood or check the CBC. Because of why this? Because this percentage is important for our body purposes or different cellular activities. Okay, you so should keep in mind why it is so. So the first cell is just you can see the different shape and size of the cells. These are the lymphocytes, monocytes, eosinophils, basophils, neutrophils. All these cells are having the different types of the shape and size, nucleus shape and size. Okay, so first is granulocytes. First we see the neutrophils. So the first is you come to the point. These are the three actual basophils, neutrophils, and basophil acidophils. These are the type and cells you know. I already shown you about it. It is not important to you, but the come to the point. What is the granulocytes? Granulocyte is a polymorphic nuclear leukocytes, which is called PMN. What is the PMN? It is a polymorpho, means different types, shape and size. Poly means different, many, morpho means structure, chera, face. So it is called polymorphonuclear leukocyte. It's called PMN, and it is having the granule cytoplasm, means the granules that is a secretory vesicles in the cells for the lysis, means break down the neighboring cell. So neighboring cells means what it is. You know that firstly I am saying about it. It is a protective in nature, so it is useful in the phagocytic structure. So it is a destroy the neighboring cells or whatever the foreign cells. So it is called lysis, means the neighboring the cell. It is about 72% of the total WBC at granulocyte. It secretes different types of enzymes for phagocytosis. You know the different hydrolytic enzymes are useful for the uh, destroying the foreign bodies depending upon the staining property. Staining means which stain is useful. Just you know the acidic stain which can retain the acidic stain, and then it is called acidophils which retain the basic stain. Then it is a basophil, and suppose no stain is required for the staining purpose, so it is called neutrophils. Means neutrophil cell is neutral about all these things. Okay, so which stain is loose or which stain is retain, it is depend upon the granulocytes and agranulocyte type, that is acidophils or basophils. Okay, you know the in previous year we discussed about that gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Which bacteria retain the stain and which bacteria lose the stain depending upon the stain nature. They are just know, or they are knowing in the science, that is acidophils or it is basophils or it is neutrophils. Okay, isn't it? So this is all about the granulocytes. What is the granulocyte? So first cell is neutrophils. It is stained by the neutral dyes. No, granules are small, numerous, coarse, spherical nucleus. Several lobes, 2 to 7 lobes are there. 70% to 72% of the WBC count which contain the neutrophils. Highly mobile and very active. It is a phagocytic eater, means it is a protective body. It destroys the foreign particles containing the several lysosome generators. Lysosomes means you know the you are very well know that the lysosomes are secreting the hydrolytic enzyme property for the destroying. Okay, so you know the pus inside the body or जखम जेव्हा होते तेव्हा the pus निर्माण होतो. It is the mixture of dead neutrophil cells, damaged tissue and dead microbes, which is after destroying the neutrophil cell, which is comes in the form of pus. So poo आपल्यामध्ये येत असतो. So this is the actual mechanism of neutrophil cell. So you can see here the phagocytic, different phagocytic feature or how they can destroy the foreign particles. You can see here the A, B, C, D, E, F, all these pictures show the lysosomic activity, endophagocytosis, exophagocytosis, or how it can be eater the foreign particle inside the cell or outside the cell. So it is a phagocytic feature. It is phagocytic in nature. So keep in mind with cell neutrophil. So this is the different shape or different lobes. About 2 to 7 lobes are there for the neutrophil cell. Nucleus is in the lobed form. So you can see here. Second type of the cell, that granulocyte, is the basophils. So basophils, you know that basophils is the cytoplasmic granule that stain with the basic dyes. Uh, that basic dyes is nothing but it's a methylene blue. It is about least percent or least in number about 0.5 to 1%. Non-phagocytic, it is not doing the role like neutrophils. So it is non-phagocytic, nucleus is twisted, present in infected and allergic condition. जेव्हा allergy होते आपल्याला infection होतं त्यावेळेस काय करत असते हे present असते. It contains heparin and histamine and serotonin hormones, which you know that the heparin is a blood thinner anticoagulant used in dialysis. You know that in dialysis machine is attached to the body. After blood comes from the, after complete excretion of the nitrogenous waste in the machine, again blood is injected inside the body. That time for the, if blood is coagulated, there is a chance of coagulation of the blood when it is inserted in the body because after the machine. So for the less chance of the coagulation, so it is, we are using the blood thinner as a heparin. So it containing the heparin, which is anticoagulant, and it's also useful for the, it protect our body from heart attack and blockages. So heparin is very important. Second thing is histamine. Histamine is useful for our local immune or inflammatory response. Inflammation, you know that घसरलं खरचटलं भाजलं त्यावेळेस आपल्याला काय होतं की इन्फ्लेमेशन होतं. तो इन्फ्लेमेशनचा रिस्पॉन्स आपल्याला समजा बॉडीपर्यंत जावा त्यासाठी जे सिक्रेशन होतं दॅट इज कॉल्ड द हिस्टामाइन. अँड सेरोटोनिन रिड्यूस डिप्रेशन अँड रेग्युलेट अँक्झायटी, म्हणजे काळजी करणं किंवा डिप्रेशन कमी करणं यासाठी सेरोटोनिन लागतं. दुसरी गोष्ट याच्या जोडीला मेलोटोनिन बी असतं, which set the biological clock. We are discuss in the control coordination chapter serotonin and melatonin. So you should keep in mind which are the, आपण याच्यानंतर टेस्ट घेणार आहे परवा, आपण त्याच्यावरती टेस्ट होईल. मी तुम्हाला काही प्रश्न किंवा आपण प्रश्न डिस्कस करू त्याच्यावरती. हेपेरिन काय करतं, हिस्टामाइन काय करतं, सेरोटोनिन काय करतं, हे तुम्ही लक्षात ठेवणं गरजेचं आहे. This is the actual basophil nature. It is not asking. So next is acidophils or eosinophils, large numerous nucleus with two lobes, 1 to 3% of WBCT count, stain acidic and eosin stain with eosin stain, destroy antigen and antibody by phagocytosis. Whatever be the foreign particle when inserted in our body that produce the antigen of that particular disease and antibody. So destroying the all these antigen and antibody of the foreign particles by the mechanism of phagocytosis is done by the acidophils. It is antihistamine property and detoxification also did by this acidophils, produce antioxidants, antitoxins found in lining of respiratory and digestive tract. Why it is? Because the entry of pathogen it from the digestive tract and respiratory tract. You know the pharynx, larynx, which is you know the tonsils are present inside the throat. That because it is found in that region, so it is present in the lining of respiratory tract and digestive tract. Because as soon as the pathogen is inserted in our body, that they trap or they track that pathogen in the respiratory and digestive tract. Important function involved in protection against the infection means it is also protect the infection in our throat or in the digestive system or in the respiratory system. So infection caused by the parasitic worm, involvement in allergic reaction. Allergic reaction मध्ये हे करत असते. Secret and anti-inflammatory and allergic reaction मध्ये हे काम करत असते. कुठलं? Acidophils. Okay, so this is all about the granulocyte, and this next second is a granulocyte. About the 28%, you know the 70% is a granulocyte, 30 to 70 to 70% is a granulocyte, and only 28% means what 1/3 part of the cell is covered by accommodated by this granulocyte, and only 20% cell is containing WBC is a granulocyte. Granules absent, it is a non-granulocyte, so it is called a granulocyte. Produced from lymphoid stem cells. Lymphoid stem cell आपण पुढे पाहणार आहोत lymphatic tissue duct मध्ये. Nucleus is large in size and lobes are absent because all a granulocyte containing a lab 2 to 7 lobe, 2 lobe, 3 lobe, 4 lobe. You will just see in the neutrophils, acidophils, and basophils, different lobes are present in the nucleus. So this is all about the granulocyte general function. So first cell of the granulocyte is a lymphocyte. You know the just I explained about that all the immunodeficiencies depends upon the lymphocytes, because B lymphocyte, T lymphocytes that are produced by this lymphocyte. This is the smallest WBC, large spherical nucleus, small amount of just one nucleus is there and it is a big inside. Just in general function we are seeing amount of cytoplasm, small amount of cytoplasm account about 25 to 30% of the WBC count. Two types, that is T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes, attack infect a cancerous cell, or not only the cancerous cells but it is attack on the foreign particles which is enters in the body, त्याच्यावरती हे अटॅक करत असते. Just you can see here the two types of the lymphocyte, B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte. B lymphocyte